alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to B1 Lesson 6. Today's goals are vocabulary about words that or expressions that we use to tell a story about the time that the event in the story took place, what happened first, what happened next, and what happened last, beginning, the middle, and the end of a story, the expressions that we use. We will also look at the past perfect tense. We will learn the form of the past perfect tense, and also we will look at the uses or the meaning of the past perfect tense. We will be doing listening also. We'll be practicing listening part 3. So let's get started. Now, vocabulary, expressions for sequence. That is how things happen in the story. At the beginning, what happened. After that, next, good. Let's look at the examples here. We have one at the beginning, then at first. So we can use at the beginning or at first. And then suddenly, then, and then next, and then at the end. So at the end of a story. And with the grammar, we have what we call the past perfect. First, when do we use the past perfect? Now, when you have two events all in the past, one of them might happen before the other one. So any two events in the past, the one that happened first, that is the one we use the past perfect. Let me show you an example with a sentence here. When I entered the classroom, Amjad had arrived. So we have this sentence here. When I entered the classroom, Amjad had arrived. Yeah. So this means that when we are looking at the time, you can see that we have two verbs here. Entered. One is entered. Okay. And the other one had arrived. These are the two events. Now, the person entered at a certain time, but by the time the person entered, Amjad had come already. Amjad had arrived already. So it is like this. The person entered maybe around, let's say, 8 p.m., 8 a.m. But Amjad had arrived, let's say 7:30 a.m. Okay, so this means that these two events, they all happened in the past, all of them in the past. But this happened first, 7:30, before we come to 8. So the one that happened first, we use the past perfect. And then the one that is second, or after the first event, then we use the word. We use the past simple for it. So this is how we use the past perfect. Now, let's look at the form. How do we form the past perfect? How do we form the past perfect? We have here, we use had plus past participle. Very simple. Had. So this is what we use. We use had. And then verb 3. This is verb 3. This is all that we need. So you can see, I had arrived. You hadn't arrived. This is the negative, or you had not arrived. And then the question is, had they arrived, or had she arrived? Okay, so this is the past perfect. And you can see that We studied the present perfect where we use have and has. Now you just change the has and have to past. Then we have the past perfect. So it's very easy. And look at this example. When Alexa arrived at the beach, they had moved the cameras. So what happened first? It means they moved the cameras before Alexa arrived at the beach. So that is what it means. Now let's look at this. Let's complete this grammar spot. Past perfect and past simple. Past perfect and past simple. Now complete, write the correct tense in the gaps, past perfect or past simple. So we have to write past perfect or past simple in these spaces. Now, when two things happen almost at the same time, we use the tense in both sentences. So what should it be? Should it be past perfect or past simple? They happen at the same time. So we use what? The past simple. The same time, we use the past simple. Now, when one event happens before another, we use the one that happens first. What do we use? That's where we use the past perfect. So we use the past perfect. We use the past perfect for it, for the first event, and the past simple for the second event. So the past simple will be here. So this is how we use them. The past perfect tense for the first event, and then the past simple. So it seems you don't see this very well. Let me just change. Let me write it better for you. We have here the past perfect. And then we have here the past simple. Yes, I hope you can see them better now. Yes. So the past simple tense for the second event. What happened first? We use the past perfect. Then what happened next? We use the past simple, just as we've said. Okay, now let's look at some exercises in order to practice a little. Use the past perfect to complete the following sentences. When I arrived at the cinema, the film, what should it be? Past perfect, how do we form it? We said we form it by using what? Had. By using had plus past participle of start is what? Started. So this is the answer. Yes. And then two. So she had lived. And then we have after day. So this should be what? The shellfish, they began to feel sick. So they had eaten. And then if you listen to me, you would have got a job. So if you had listened. And then the garden was there because it dry all summer. So we use had, and then what is the verb 3 of be, been? It had been. So had been dry all summer. Now, this is the negative, not breakfast. We use the breakfast when he arrived. So we use had, and then verb 3 of have. Had is lazim. And then verb 3 of have is, so we use had what? Had. So I hadn't had, because it's negative. I hadn't had. Yeah, so I hadn't had breakfast when he arrived. We were late for the plane because we had forgotten our passports. So these are the answers for the past perfect. Now we can move to another activity, and this is about listening. Now, listening part 3. Now, look at these notes about the Victoria Cinema. Some information is missing. What kinds of words will you listen for? Now, when you are listening, you must predict the answers. You must know what will be there. Now, when you look at this form, you are going to listen and then complete this with the correct answers. But what kind of words should you put there? So let's look at one. What kind of words do we have to put there? Look at this. One summer night, normally 3 performances. One only at 7 p.m. on. So what should be here? It's very clear that this should be what? A day or a date. A day or a date should be here. So we can write what? A day or a date here. And then when we come to 2, talk by the, what kind of word should be here? Of the violinist on Wednesday. So this means a talk by the who. It means a person is supposed to be here. And then let's look at 3. Late night film Dead Men's Shoes has won a prize for the. So what should be here? A movie has won a prize for something that is connected with film, something that is connected with film. So you must listen for that. And then on Saturday at 5 p.m., you can see the film, A Dangerous Game, in something then with subtitles. So the film is in what? And it has subtitles. You know, subtitles are when we translate what is being said. So here there should be a language. You must listen for a language. So here you know, before you listen, you know that, oh, a language will come here. What language? You just have to know what language will come. Listen for the name of the language. So you know what is coming. You know there should be a language here. There should be something that is connected with photography, with cinema. And then something too is something about the name of a person. And this is about a day or a date. So you know already what you are expecting. And then let's look at 5. Children's Film Club at 10 a.m. The young, something will come. Yes, a person will come. After young, we know that it's a person that comes. So after young, which is what? An adjective. It means something, a person is what is coming here. And then let's look at, you can book tickets by phone between 10 a.m. and another time will come here. So I want you to listen now, and then you complete this. So listen, and then first read the questions once again before you listen. Okay, so I want you just to take a paper and write only the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you listen, pause the recording, take your paper, and then write the numbers before you listen. Okay, so let's now listen. You listen and then you write the answers.
Exam folder 18. Listening part 3. Exercise 4.
You will hear a recorded message giving you information about films. For each question, fill in the missing information in the numbered space.
Welcome to the Victoria Cinema Information Line. Here is a list of films for the week starting July the 7th. There are 3 performances each day of One Summer Night at 5 p.m., 7:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. except Monday, when there is only one chance to see it at 7:30, and Sunday, when there is no performance. Every afternoon, there is a showing of The Violinist at 2:30 p.m. And after the performance on Wednesday, the director, Mark Hawkins, will give a lecture about the film. This is included in the ticket price. Our late-night film is Dead Men's Shoes, which is coming to the cinema for the second time. It is set in the Canadian mountains and stars the well-known actor Jim Harrison. It recently won a prize for its photography. Our foreign language film this week is called A Dangerous Game and is showing on Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m. Although the director is actually Swedish, the film is in Spanish, with subtitles in English. There are 2 films showing in our Saturday morning film club for children. The film at 10 a.m. is suitable for children aged between 5 and 10 and is called The Young Princess. It is about the adventures of a young girl whose father becomes king of his country by mistake. At 11:30, we are showing The Mad Professor, which is a comedy. All tickets are £4.50, except for children and senior citizens who pay £3.50. The box office is open from 2 p.m. until 8:30 p.m., but our telephone booking line is open in the morning from 10:30 a.m., and you can book tickets with a credit card until 9:30 p.m. if you ring 0987 348 72. There is a charge of 50p for tickets bought by telephone. Thank you for calling the Victoria Cinema Information Line.
Okay, so now let's look at the answers. Now you can repeat the recording 2 or 3 times so that you get the correct answers. So now let's look at the answers now. So 1, we have here what on. The answer should be Monday. And then 2, we have here director, the director. And then 3, we have the answer photography. Photography. And then 4, the answer is Spanish. Then 5, the answer is princess. So the young princess. And then 6, the answer is time. Is what? And between 10 a.m. and 9:30. 9:30. And 9:30. Okay, good. Between 10 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. That's the PM is there. So, okay. So these are the answers, and on that note, we've come to the end of this lesson. Inshallah, hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.